Good evening, I'm Guy Cater. Welcome to the Guy Cater Show. What an incredible night I have for you. One guest, his name is Chris Powley, but what a guest. He is the ultimate variety entertainer. He sings opera, he sings popular numbers, he sings country. He's a comedian, he's a dancer, he's an MC. He is fantastic and he is here. Let's meet Chris Powley. So good to have you on the show.
Lovely to be here, my friend.
Good to be here too, especially with you.
Thank you.
In my introduction, I said what an incredible and versatile entertainer you are.
Oh,
where did it all start, Chris?
It all started in 1985.
That sounds a good year. What happened then?
1985, I was singing around the house a lot, annoying the entire family with all my singing, but Mum and Dad suggested a point that maybe we should take Chris along to a country music club.
How old were you then?
I was approximately 8 or 9 years old.
Right.
And so we went along to the Franklin Country Music Club, and I got up and sang a song, and afterwards we were approached by a lovely lady and a very good friend for many years, Norma Beston, who said, look, become a member of the club and we'd like to put Chris into some awards, country music awards around the country. And so,
at that age?
At that age, and that's what happened. So a month later I was in the Auckland Country Music Awards in the junior male section, and I won. And that was the beginning of it all.
Fantastic. So you went on to what? To Talent Quest?
Yeah, to Talent Quest, other awards around the Motu, around New Zealand, and then over to Australia.
What happened over there?
I went to compete in the Tamworth Country Music Awards, and won. I had great success over there and won the Mal Gardner Junior Award over there. And it's a lovely, great big award with a picture. Well, actually, it's a wooden plaque and has a wooden sort of embossed Australia on there with a guitar across it and all the previous winners around the outside. So I haven't actually seen that award yet. They gave me a miniature award to take away with me, and I've never actually seen the main award that I won, but my name is somewhere on there. Yeah.
How old were you at this stage?
I would have been about 9 years old.
Oh, 9.
Yeah,
so in that short time?
Yes.
Wow.
That short time, yeah.
That's wonderful. So you came back to New Zealand?
Came back to New Zealand, entered other talent quests and what was going around town and New Zealand at that time. But my dad used to roadie for the fantastic Lou and Simon back in the day. And so Dad said to Mum, why don't we take him across to Lou Clawson and introduce him and see what he thinks and what we should do at this point in his career and to further it and what steps to take. So we went across to Lou's house, and Lou listened to me sing, and he said, well, take away these things, you know. He said, you need to learn to project, you need to open your mouth. And of course, you know, learn the lyrics is a good thing. The quicker you can learn lyrics. So he gave me 3 songs to learn. And he said, go away with those things, come back and sing for me again. So I did, went away, came back a couple of days later, learned the 3 songs, sang for him and did all the things that he said. And he said, look, would you like to be part of the Young Talent Discovery team? And which those days had, you know, was a wonderful team. People like Annie Crummer and those guys were part of that team. And they were working at the Easter show and at shopping malls around New Zealand. So it was a great experience for me to join the Discovery team and start learning my trade.
Yes, a good learning curve there. How long were you with Lou?
I was with the Talent Discovery team for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
You would have learnt a lot?
I did. I learned how to work an audience and how to sing, you know, and to entertain an audience. You know.
Lou Clawson was a wonderful entertainer.
Absolutely.
And of course the very first president of the Variety Artists Club in New Zealand.
Indeed, he was, yes, that's right.
And when he and Simon performed, it was just hilarious.
Oh, it was very funny.
But they had the singing as well.
They did, yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely. Or the first comedy duo of New Zealand.
Oh, yes, even before Billy.
Even before Billy.
Even before Billy. So you've started singing, you've done the Country Music Club, you've been to Australia, you've been with Lou for 4 years.
Well, I'd sort of, yeah, went from strength to strength, really, in different avenues of my career. Singing was with Lou, and then after that I moved on to Marcus Craig's show, Diamond Lil, which was an experience and a half, you know. Great entertainer, great comedian, and he taught me comedy.
Yes.
Which has become a very important part of my career. Sorry.
Well, we just happen to have a little track.
Yes.
A little clip of you, dear old Marcus, Diamond Lil.
Fantastic.
Oh, that was fantastic. You enjoyed the days with Marcus, didn't you?
Oh, they were fabulous. You know, we were on the road most of the time, you know, after the Ace of Clubs closed and the Downtown Convention Centre, which became the home of Diamond Lil for a while there, the comedy club. But we hit the road for a long time. We had such a ball on the road. And as I said, he taught me a lot with comedy, and those years of learning those sort of things have been priceless for me in my career now.
Of course, what great mentors you've had, really. Who was your next mentor?
Well, he was a huge influence on my career, and what I wanted to be in life was, of course, Sir Howard Morrison, you know? The consummate performer. You know, every time I saw Sir Howard perform, when I think the first time I was 11 years old, saw him perform at the Waiuku Country Club, and I was just in awe from that moment of not just his voice, but the way he could command an audience and controlled the band. You know, I don't think anyone did it as good as he did in this country, as far as those things go. Yeah, outstanding. So
he demanded perfection.
He did.
Yes,
he did.
Yeah, and it showed on stage, and you've obviously picked up a lot from him as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that night after the show, I went out to get his autograph, and so he asked me a few questions, and he said, "Are you interested in singing?" You know, because he could hear me singing away, and I said, "Absolutely. You know, I want to be a singer one day, and I would love to be like yourself." You know, and he said, "Well, I'll keep an eye out for you." And he did, you know, and we kept in contact ever since, and I was part of different shows that or concerts that he had throughout the years, and things sort of have done a full circle, because in the past few years we've just since Sir Howard's passing released the Howard Morrison Trio, or the Howie Morrison Trio, I should say. Of course, his son, Howard Jr., myself, and Russell Harrison, and we are reliving and remembering the music of the quartet and Sir Howard within the shows that we do, and also putting our own footprint of our individual music throughout the shows. And they're going through all the RSAs, cosmopolitan clubs, a lot of corporate functions around the motu, and it's wonderful, yeah.
That's great. Well, I've seen two of the Howie Morrison Junior Trio. What's the correct title?
Howie Morrison Trio.
The Howie Morrison Trio, yeah. Excellent.
Yes.
Everybody should watch it, everyone. Not only that, you had your own trio?
Yes, I had the Chris Powley Trio, and I've been involved with many other groups, like the Paki Quartet, with wonderful singers like Leon Wharikura and Mana Tumanako, Mana Farrell, and it's been a wonderful experience doing different shows. It keeps me on my feet, on my toes, you know, with different choreography, different music, and different people. Simon Green in Queenstown, we do a Motown show and a Rat Pack show, so there's fingers in many pies, and keeps it nice and fresh.
Can you make a living?
Absolutely.
In New Zealand?
Yes.
You can. You don't
Yes.
have to do the cruise ships.
Did I say that with confidence?
Look, we
It
all
is
know what it's
possible.
like. One of the things we're doing in this program is exploring how variety entertainers are making a living, or
Sure.
whether they're not, or how they can get better, and what we can do. RSA's cosy clubs and pubs seem to be the staple diet of variety
Yeah.
entertainers.
You know, you have to go out there and you have to find it. You have to, if you can't find it, you have to create it.
Yes.
Because it will not come to you, you know. There is work there in the RSA's chartered clubs around the country, but I don't think, it's not enough to stabilise a good living in New Zealand. So you have to look further than that within whatever craft you do, whether it's music or acting, and just persevere, and as I have done with my career and chosen, you know, forte.
Yes.
Things like I had a good, what's the word? Had a long stint at Sky City Casino, and that was a great regular gig for 10 years.
Yes.
Not just entertaining at night time, but running the daytime variety entertainment there with shows. And that was every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays, you know, which carried on for 10 years.
And you had a wealth of entertainers there.
Absolutely,
everybody.
all the names
Tina
of
Cross,
Tina
Ray
Cross,
Columbus,
yeah.
Ray Bartlett, me.
Jack Littlewood,
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
Lou and Simon,
Lou and Simon.
Sir Howard,
Yes,
everyone was
yeah.
on that came through the show. And
And it was really sad when that ended.
it was.
But you went out and you got yourself work.
I did, indeed.
And
yeah.
some of the work you got yourself was in cruise ships.
Absolutely.
And before you talk about that, let me show the people how well you're received on a cruise ship. Have a look at this.
Yes, I am music and I write this song. So before they come to break down the door, oh, forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore. Forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take any more. Willie Nelson, for all the girls I've loved before, and a family and at my door. Julio Iglesias, to all the girls I've loved before. Little traveling and out my door. Kermit the Frog. To all the girls I loved before, that have traveled in and out my door. Oh, Biggie, Johnny Cash. To all the girls I loved before, Sue.
Wow, standing ovation. That is excellent.
Thank you.
That happen often?
9 times out of 10, yeah.
Of
Without
course.
Skyting.
I'm not surprised. But do you always have theatres like that?
Yes, well, on a lot of those shots are on different cruise ships. A couple are land-based theatres,
Right.
but often on the ships, it's a 8 to 1,300, 1,500 seater.
And you often dance as well, don't you?
I do, not so much these days, but I have done a lot of dancing with different shows over the years, and Yeah, not so much these
Not
days.
on board ship.
No.
So of all the places...
Rocks around too much.
Now, did I read you were in Spain recently?
No, not Spain. Russia. I was in Vladivostok. But no, not Spain yet.
Not yet. No.
There are plans.
How was Vladivostok?
Vladivostok was cold.
Yeah.
Very cold. Yeah.
So that was on a cruise ship, was it?
That was on
Going
a cruise
through
ship,
there?
yes. Yeah.
Of all the places you've been, which have you enjoyed the most?
I would have to say, I'd have to say Hawaii. Around Hawaii and Moria and the islands, Tahiti. It's it's warm, it's lovely.
Yes. Yeah.
The people are beautiful, and I enjoy that the most.
When you perform, how long do you do?
I usually do in one night. I'll do
Yes.
two 45-minute sittings, 45 minutes to an hour
Yes.
sittings, and sometimes I'll be on board a ship for about 4 or 5 days during that time, and now and then we'll chuck in a matinee show if the audience are requesting more.
Right, and they always do. Yes, yes, yes. With an entertainer like yourself, I mean, money is important, but it's obviously secondary. You had the passion when you were a kid.
Yes.
Is that what you wanted to do?
Absolutely. I knew what I wanted to do right from the go.
Beginning.
Absolutely. Mum said to me, I wanted to get... I didn't like school that much, I loved going to school to meet friends and see my friends, but I wasn't that much into school. I just wanted to sing. And so the first opportunity I got to leave school, I did. Mum said, if you get a job, you can leave school. So I went down the road and got a job at New World for $3.35 an hour and left school.
Wonderful.
Lasted there for about 5 minutes, and then the career started.
For some of us, school is not really an option, is it?
No.
So what is it now when you're really, really fantastic? and that's a biased opinion on my part. But you're standing on stage. What gives you the buzz? Is it the song, the passion of the song? Is it the audience, their response?
Well, I love to sing songs that I can relate to, and I think that's important for anybody, any singer. You've got to be able to know what you're singing about to do the song justice and to really have a moment with the audience. So it's not the money, it's not the anything else other than just the love of singing. I love to sing, have done since I was a kid and still do now. And to see the response from the audience is what you do it for. And the love that you get back from the audience is worth more than anything else.
Do you include any of your comedy?
Absolutely. The shows that I do on board and on land, because Chris Powley's not a worldwide name yet. You have to incorporate some sort of comedy or something that the audience can relate to.
Yes.
And you need to build that bridge with your audience so they can take that ride with you during your show and not just be sitting there watching you sing song after song. That's the difference between a singer and an entertainer.
Yes.
A singer can get up there and sing songs. An entertainer will get up there and entertain and sing the songs and make that connection with the audience.
And that's why I said in my introduction that you are, I would say, the best cabaret variety artist we have in New Zealand.
Thank you.
Although a lot of New Zealanders don't know you yet, do they?
No, they don't. I've been slogging away at it for 35 years, but it's hard to get recognition in New Zealand unless you're on television, and you get something regular where the audience can relate to. I'm still waiting for that game show host position. Anyone out there looking?
We'll leave you with that.
Yes, thank you.
We have a little clip here of you that we're going to have a look at right now. This is the last one of the night, so let's enjoy this.
Yell out any famous New Zealand entertainer over the past 40, 50 years. Yell them out, anyone at all. Yell them out. Yell them out. Ray Columbus. How's that? She's alive. 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 Yeah. She's alive. She's alive. Yeah. Dame Curie.
I didn't hear that one. Not finished yet. The top twins.
Now, that was you and Chet. Tell us about that.
Well, Chet O'Connell, great guitarist, great entertainer, good, very good friend. You know, we've known each other for many years, and we got together accidentally at a Variety Artists Club gig back in '91 or somewhere, and it was suggested that why don't you two team up together and do something on stage, and so we met each other that night, and we had this rapport with one another that, you know, just worked so well, comically and musically. And so we got together and put together a couple of numbers, and the rest is history. We've been entertaining lots of corporates and around New Zealand and Australia for many years now.
We just saw a little bit of your impression with the Top Twins there.
Yes.
How have they responded to that?
Great. You know, we did a gig with Linda and Jules a few years back now, and where we came out and the audience had yelled out, "Can you do the Top Twins?" And so we started, and then they walked out and said, "What are you doing singing our song?" And we introduced themselves that way.
That would have been wonderful.
It was very good. It was very funny, but they're happy with it.
There's a little story that I've heard you tell about being Elvis Presley as well, because we just saw a little bit of that earlier as well. Yes, you went to Papua New Guinea.
Yes, oh wow, that was one of the gigs we did, Papua New Guinea. That was an interesting function, but the Elvis started off as just a small segment in a variety show that I put together when I was about 18 years old, and it grew from there. Lots of people said, "Oh, can we have you do an Elvis performance here and there?" And so it got larger and larger, and eventually I ended up doing a whole Elvis show in the Aloha Hawaii suit and the get-up and with the big band and what have you, and yeah, so now and then we don't do too much of it these days.
No.
But I do try to squeeze myself back into the jumpsuit.
And we heard that there were some people in Papua New Guinea who thought it was Elvis.
Oh, really?
Yes,
there we go.
Now, you had a
was a bit
photograph
longer
sitting
then.
here of a...
Yes, I was going to show you
couple.
this earlier on. It was when I was talking about the days with Lou Clawson singing on stage at the South Mall shopping centre, I believe it was, and this young lady got up and started singing with me, and I was singing the song Tumbling Down. Yes, that's me, the little country cowboy with the hat on there. I was singing the song Tumbling Down, and of course that is Maria Dulles.
Yes, of course.
And I had no idea who she was until afterwards, and she introduced herself, and Lou Clawson had arranged for her during her tour to jump up on stage and sing the last chorus of Tumbling Down. So we had
great lady.
and we've been friends ever since. Yeah.
So there's that photograph, and there's this one here.
Yes.
And I have the CD, of course, and it
Yes.
is so wonderful.
Thank
where,
you.
Where can people...
You can get that online at if you look up chrispowley.com. My webpage comes up, and you can purchase those.
Powley.com.
The Voice, yeah.
The Voice.
And I'm trying to catch flies here. But all of that is done on the ship. I recorded a lot of those songs on the album on the ship, and great numbers of Josh Groban, a little bit of Michael Bublé, and there's the number of Sir Howards on there, and E-Paw, which we're about to release soon. So with
that's a Tui Teka.
Prince Tui Teka number,
Tui Teka
which was
song.
arranged and written and produced by Ngoi Ngoi Piwhairangi and Dalvania's Prime, who
Yes.
we have
Yes, of
a
course.
great background with. And so we're releasing that with Wātea Music.
When's that coming out?
We haven't got a release date yet,
Right.
but we're looking at the end of July. So,
Wow.
And it'll be a tribute to the legend, the man in the music, is, Prince Tui Teka.
Yes, he was pretty wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we've sort of been on a little journey with you
Yeah.
tonight. Is there anything we've left out that we should be talking about, like the future?
Well, look, how long's the show? You know, there's so much in the pipe works and so much that has happened over the past 30 years. But the future holds lots of wonderful things, and just keep an eye out for the name, and you'll see me.
Yes. Going back to your comedy,
Yes.
is there ever a time when you might feel you may be losing the audience? That's probably a foolish thing to ask, but sometimes they might be just cooling off, so you've got something that you come in with that will bring them back up again?
Yeah, well, I can't say that's ever happened, but, you know, an entertainer can only be as good as his or her audience, and like tonight, I have been outstanding.
You have indeed. Now listen, we're not letting you go yet.
Oh,
no, we're
okay.
not.
Right.
No, we're not. Had you not been an entertainer,
Yes.
is there another career that you think you may have enjoyed?
I would have been a pilot.
A pilot.
Yes. A pilot, or continued my job at the supermarket.
Yes, and you could have ended up owning your own Pack and Save or New World.
Who knows?
Who knows? But luckily for the public all around the world, Chris Powley is the voice. And mate, I've known you since you were that age in that little photograph, and I'm real proud to have you here on my show.
Pleasure to be here, my friend. Thank you,
Ladies
Guy.
and gentlemen, Chris Powley. I'd like to thank my very special guest, the voice, Chris Powley. And I'd like to invite you to come back here, same time, same channel next week, and enjoy the Guy Cater Show. And remember, it's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. Good night.